Welcome to Lento Business English. Ready to level up your business English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
One introduction. Have you seen a special water bottle that many people carry now? It is a big cup, often colorful, with a handle and a straw. This popular cup is the Stanley Quencher. It is very well known today. So many people want to own one. You can see these cups in many different places. People take them to work, to school, to the gym, and use them in their cars. They are also all over social media online. The cups come in lots of pretty colors like pink, blue, green, cream, and many, many more. Sometimes when new colors or special types are sold, they sell out very fast in just a few minutes. People wait online or in stores to buy them. It has become a very wanted item for many people. The company that makes the Quencher cup is named Stanley. This company is not new at all. It has been around for a very long time. Stanley started making products more than 100 years ago, way back in the year 1913. For most of its history, the company made very strong metal bottles. These bottles were famous because they could keep drinks hot or cold for many, many hours. They were tough and lasted for years. Often, people like outdoor workers, builders, farmers, or people who enjoyed camping used these bottles. The most famous old Stanley bottle was usually a dark green color. But just a few years ago, something amazing happened at the Stanley Company. This old company, mostly known for its classic green bottle, suddenly started making a lot more money. Its sales increased very, very quickly. One report said its money earned went from about $70 million in 1 year to maybe $750 million only 4 years later. This is a really big change, especially for a company that is over 100 years old. How did this happen? How did a company known for making tough gear for outdoor trips become famous for a colorful cup that everyone seems to want? Why did this Quencher cup become so popular so fast? This is the story we are going to explore. It is the story of the Stanley Company and its surprising journey. It is also the story of the famous Quencher cup, how it was first made, why people started liking it so much, and how it completely changed the company's success. We will look at the company's long past and how it decided to try new ideas. We will learn about the customers who helped make the cup famous and how things like new colors and online sharing made a huge difference. Let's discover how this 110-year-old company became such a big modern success story, mostly because of one special cup. 2. A very old bottle company. The Stanley Company has a long history. It started over 100 years ago in 1913. An American engineer named William Stanley Jr. created the company. He had an important idea for a new kind of bottle. Before Mr. Stanley's invention, keeping drinks hot or cold was difficult. Bottles often had a glass part inside. Glass breaks very easily. If you dropped your bottle, the glass inside could break. Then the bottle was useless. People wanted something stronger and more reliable for their drinks. William Stanley Jr. found a solution. He designed a bottle made completely from steel. Steel is a strong metal, much stronger than glass. His new bottle did not break easily. It was tough. It also had a special design called vacuum insulation. This means there were 2 walls of steel with a space between them. Most of the air was taken out of this space. This vacuum helped stop heat from moving in or out. Because of this vacuum design, the steel bottle worked very well. It could keep hot drinks like coffee or tea hot for many hours. It could also keep cold drinks like water or juice cold for a very long time. This was much better than the old glass-lined bottles. People really liked this new invention. Stanley started making many of these bottles. They were mass-produced, meaning the company made large numbers of them. The most famous early bottle was called the classic legendary bottle. It looked tough and ready for hard use. A very common color for this bottle was dark green. This green, strong bottle became the picture many people had of a Stanley product. For decades, the company sold these bottles. Who bought them? For a very long time, it was mostly men. They found the bottles very useful for work, especially for jobs outside or in factories. Construction workers, fishermen, and farmers often used them. Men also took them camping or hunting. The bottle was perfect because it was strong and dependable. It did not break, and it kept their drinks at the right temperature all day. For many years, the Stanley bottle was known as a tough product for working men. This classic green bottle was the company's main product for a very long time. 3. The first quencher cup. For many years, the Stanley Company was famous for its strong, green bottle. Most people knew Stanley because of this one product. It was very popular with workers and people who liked camping. The company sold many of these green bottles. They did not make many other types of drink containers for a long time. Their main business was this classic bottle. After many years, Stanley decided to make some different products. They wanted to try new ideas. Selling only the classic bottle was good, but maybe they could sell other things too. In 2007, they made a flask. Later, in 2014, they made things for drinks at home, like special cups for bars. These were small steps into making new kinds of products. Then, in 2016, Stanley made something very different. It was a new type of cup. They called it the quencher. This cup did not look like the old green bottle at all. It was a big change for the company. The design was completely new. It showed that Stanley was trying to reach different customers. The quencher cup had special features. It had a large handle on the side. This made it easy to hold and carry. The bottom part of the cup was thinner than the top part. This shape was clever. It meant the cup could fit easily into the cup holders in cars. This was useful for people driving or traveling. The classic green bottle was mostly for keeping drinks hot or cold for a long time outdoors. The quencher seemed more for daily life and travel. When the quencher first came out, it was not available in many colors. There were only 5 different color choices. This was very different from the many colors available later. At first, the quencher was not a big success. Not many people bought this new cup. It did not sell very well in the beginning. People were not excited about it yet. During this time, other water bottles were very popular. Brands like Hydro Flask, Yeti, and Eswell sold many bottles. People liked these other brands. The Stanley quencher was not famous like these bottles. It stayed in the background. It was just another water bottle on the shelf, and it did not get much attention. Stanley continued to sell its classic green bottle, which was still more known than the new quencher cup. The company did not know yet that this quiet cup would become so important later. 4. Some women find the cup. The Stanley Quencher cup was not popular when it first came out. Not many people bought it, but some women found the cup and really liked it. There was a small group of friends. These women had a website. On their website, they wrote about products they liked and used. One of the women started using the Quencher cup every day. She thought it was very useful. It had a handle which made it easy to carry. It was also thin at the bottom, so it fit inside her car's cup holder. This made it perfect for busy days. She loved her cup so much. She told her friends about the Quencher. They started using it too. They all agreed it was a great cup. So they decided to share it on their website. They wrote about why they liked the Quencher. They told their readers it was good for daily life, especially for busy mothers. People who visited the website read about the cup. They trusted the women's ideas. Soon, these readers wanted to buy the Quencher too. The cup started to become a little more known because of this website. More people were looking for it, but there was a problem. The Stanley Company saw that the Quencher was not selling very well in most stores. So, in the year 2019, Stanley decided to stop making many Quenchers. They also stopped telling people about it. It became very hard to find and buy the cup. The women from the website were sad about this. They still loved the cup. They believed it was special. They thought Stanley was wrong to stop making it. They knew many people, like their readers, wanted this cup. They felt the cup could be popular with women, not just the men who usually bought Stanley bottles. They did not want the Quencher to disappear. So these women did something surprising. They talked to the Stanley Company. They decided to buy the cups themselves. They bought 5,000 Quencher cups. They planned to sell these cups directly to the people who read their website. It was a big risk. 5,000 cups are a lot, but they believed in the Quencher. And they were right. They put the cups for sale on their website. All 5,000 cups sold out very fast. It only took 5 days for all the cups to be gone. This showed that some people really wanted the Quencher cup. Even though Stanley was not focused on it, these women proved there was interest. At this time, Stanley's old green bottle was still its most famous product. But the Quencher story was just beginning. 5. A new boss, a new idea. In May 2020, the Stanley Company hired a new leader. His name was Terrence Riley, and he became the global president. Before Stanley, he worked at Crocs, the shoe company. He helped make Crocs shoes very popular, even when some people did not like them at first. When Riley started at Stanley, he looked closely at all the products. He saw the Quencher cup. He learned that the company was not doing much to help sell this cup. He also heard about the Buy Guide women. He knew they loved the 40-ounce Quencher and sold thousands of them. He thought the Quencher could be a huge success, but it needed help. Riley had a big idea. He believed Stanley needed to make the Quencher exciting. How? By making it in many new colors. He also learned something important at Crocs. Working with fans online can make a product famous. These fans are sometimes called influencers. He wanted to do this with the Quencher. He thought this was the special thing Stanley needed. A person working at Stanley told Riley more about the Buy Guide women in Utah. They really liked the big tumbler cup. Riley knew this was a perfect chance. His experience showed that influencers could help a lot. So Stanley contacted the Buy Guide again. They agreed to work together. The Buy Guide would help sell the Quencher, especially in new colors they helped choose. Inside Stanley, some people were not sure about this new plan. Some workers who knew the company's long history felt worried. Stanley was famous for its strong, green bottle used by working men for many years. They thought pretty, pastel colors were wrong for the Stanley brand. They felt it was changing the company too much from its history and what it stood for. But Riley and his team saw things differently. They felt that new colors would bring new customers, like working mothers who needed to drink water all day. They argued that using a colorful cup every day showed strength too. It was just a different customer with different needs. They trusted that the buy guide knew the best colors for these new customers. Riley believed this was the way to make the quencher very popular, maybe even famous. 6. Pretty colors sell cups. The new boss at Stanley, Terrence Riley, had an idea. He knew the women from the buy guide loved the quencher cup. He thought working together could help sell more cups. So Stanley and the buy guide started working together. They wanted to sell the quencher to more people, especially women. Their plan was simple: new colors. They believed that pretty colors would make people want the cup. They chose colors they thought women would like. Some people who worked at Stanley for a long time were not sure. Stanley usually made strong, dark green bottles for men. They thought pastel colors were too different for the Stanley brand, but the buy guide team knew the cup was great for busy moms and everyday life. They felt using the cup daily was just as important as using it for camping. They believed new colors were the right idea, and they were right. In November 2020, Stanley launched the quencher in new colors. The cups sold out very fast in only 3 weeks. This showed that people really liked the new look. Stanley started to think more about colors. They looked at colors used in fashion and style, not just for bottles. They understood that color was very important. The company released 2 new colors at the end of 2020, cream and desert sage. These colors were popular. Sales started to go up. The company made $94 million in 2020. This was more money than the year before. But the old green Stanley bottle was still the company's #1 product that year. The quencher was becoming more popular, but it took time. More and more people wanted a quencher cup. Sometimes there were not enough cups for everyone who wanted one. People had to put their names on waiting lists. These lists became longer and longer. This showed Stanley that many people wanted the cup. It also helped the company know how many cups to make. Having waiting lists also made the cup seem special and exciting. In the next year, 2021, Stanley released 10 more new colors for the quencher. They also tried different ways to tell people about the cup. The focus on colors and new customers was working. Pretty colors were helping to sell many cups. 7. Everyone wants the cup. The Stanley Quencher cup started to sell very, very quickly. Soon, lots of people wanted to buy one. It became famous almost overnight. People saw it everywhere they looked. Before, it was sometimes hard to find the cup in shops, but Stanley started selling the quencher in many large stores. You could find it in places like Target and other big shops. The cups were often placed at the front of the store where everyone could see them. Social media helped make the cup famous. Websites and apps like TikTok were very important. Many people made videos about their Stanley cups. They showed the different colors. They talked about why they liked the cup so much. When people saw these videos and pictures online, they wanted a quencher too. They saw friends or people they followed on the internet using the cup. It looked useful for daily life and it also looked stylish. Many people went looking for the cup right after seeing it on TikTok. Some said they watched a video and then just needed to find one. The quencher became Stanley's best-selling product. For many, many years, Stanley's most famous product was the old, classic green bottle, but that changed completely. The quencher cup became the new #1 seller for the company. In the year 2021, the cream-colored quencher sold more than any other Stanley product. This was a very big change for the 110-year-old company. Stanley listened carefully to the people who bought the cups. Customers asked for some changes to make the cup even better, so the company made a new version. It was called the Quencher H 2.0 Flow State Tumbler. This new cup came out in September 2022. It had important improvements. It was better designed to stop drinks from spilling. It also had a bigger handle, which made it easier to hold. And of course, it came in many new colors and finishes. This H 2.0 cup quickly became the best seller in 2022. Stanley also started working with other famous companies. Together, they made special quenchers that you could only buy for a short time. These were called limited editions. For example, they made special cups with Starbucks. These cups were extremely popular. People waited outside stores very early in the morning hoping to buy one. They often sold out in just a few minutes. Sometimes, stores had to limit how many cups one person could buy, maybe only 1 or 2 cups each. Cups made with country music singers also sold out very fast. Because so many people wanted the cup, Stanley's sales grew a lot. Sales went up very high. In 2021, the company made $194 million. The next year, in 2022, sales were much, much higher. They reached $402 million. It clearly showed that almost everyone really did want the Stanley Quencher Cup. 8. The future of Stanley. Stanley became much bigger very quickly. The company started making a lot more money. A few years ago, it made about $70 million in a year. Now, it makes around $750 million each year. This happened mostly because of the Quencher Cup. People sometimes say Stanley is a 110-year-old company that became famous overnight. This means it took a long time for the company to suddenly become so popular. The Quencher Cup is now very well known all over the world. Many people want this cup in different colors. It is the product that Stanley sells the most. But the company wants people to know it makes other things too. Stanley still sells its classic bottles, the ones that made the company famous many years ago. They also make other kinds of drinkware and products for camping or daily use. The company leaders know that the Quencher is very popular right now. Things that are popular are called trends, but trends can change. Maybe in the future, a different cup will become popular. Stanley hopes the company will stay strong even if the Quencher trend ends. They want to keep making useful, good quality products for people. They believe their long history helps them. They have been making bottles for over 100 years. They have many different products, not just the Quencher. This variety might help the company grow for many more years. Being popular online helped Stanley sell many quenchers, but online trends can change fast. The company knows it is important to connect with customers in many ways. Many customers say they really like Stanley products. They like the quality and the new colors. Some say they will use their Stanley cups for a very long time, even if they are not the most popular thing anymore. Stanley feels positive about what comes next. They think the company has a bright future. They plan to continue selling their famous cups, but also focus on their other products to keep the company successful for a long time.